What's up, everybody? Hey, Coach Gavin here down at DBAT Cedar City. I just wanted to talk about a drill that I've been getting a lot of questions about. I've been posting a lot of my lessons online, and this is the number one question I get on those, on those videos. And then I had a dad in here yesterday ask me about it as well, and ask me a bunch of questions and the pros and cons and why I think it's so effective. So I'm just going to go over it real quick, and yeah. Anyways. So it's the split grip drill. Anyways, the split grip drill. So usually what I'll have them do is the bottom hand is down at the bottom of the barrel. I usually have their top hand come up to the top of the grip tape. You can kind of split it or go a little bit lower. But for me, the split grip, this is one of my favorites. I usually use it in all my lessons, especially my older kids, the high school kids. We usually use it in our warm-up. The main reason why I use it, and there's a ton of different things why I use it, but the main reason is to help with bat path and direction of the barrel, kind of getting to the ball and through and making sure our shoulders are stacked, because it's hard to, as we swing with the split grip, it's hard to swing all the way through and fly this open. It's more so going to help you stack your shoulders rather than swing it. But the main reason is just for that bat path, but it helps out with getting your hands inside, getting your hands through, helps with posture, and I'll go over kind of all these a little bit. Keeping your eyes down, and a ton of other beneficial factors that I think that help, teach the swing. There's only one con that I kind of don't like about it, which we'll go over that as well. So with the split grip, usually I like to get to launch position, or position one is what I like to call it. So we'll do a preset routine, basically. So launch position, or position one, is basically when we're in the box and we're ready to get loaded. As soon as that foot gets down, that's launch. We're ready to go. We're ready to fire, or position one. So we'll work out of the preset there, out of position one. So we'll get our base already. We'll have and they can stand there if they have a hard time like just getting there presetting. Just have them, just say one, boom, pause, and then we go from there. But ultimately, what I want to do is work out of one, getting our hip a little bit. On this drill, we're isolating the upper half mostly to help with the swing. I'm a firm believer in, we build the swing from the ground up, but if you don't know how to swing a bat or the path or the direction or anything, then it doesn't matter how much force or power you have with your lower half, you're not going to be able to hit the ball consistently. So I always like to start with this, with new ones, with new lessons. Anyways, yeah. So we'll get to one, or launch position. So usually I'll have them start standing up, and we'll use the tee. I'll do front toss. You can do soft toss. You can do live arm. I don't like to use front toss a whole lot. I do use this drill with front toss just to help them really isolate that upper half. But usually with front toss, the ball is kind of on a different trajectory than a live pitch, so I don't like to use front toss a whole lot, but I do with this one just to slow things down, help them out. But anyway, so I'll have them kind of stand up, and we'll always start off the tee, and then we can progress from there. But what I want them to do is get loaded with the upper half, the scap load, making sure that the knob's going to the catcher, and we're getting that knob on playing with the ball. You always hear, or when I was younger, I was always told, throw the knob at the ball, and I didn't know what that meant. At the time, I thought it literally meant throw the knob at the ball and then let the barrel come through the zone. As I've gotten older and done all the baseball that I've done, I think I've kind of figured that it's getting the knob on playing with the ball rather than throwing it. So I'll say knob to the ball, but with my hitters, it's getting the knob on playing, and so this kind of helps with that. So all right, so we'll work out of one, isolating the upper half. We'll stand there. As we imagine the pitch is coming, we load that scap, knob to the catcher, and then this knob now is on playing with the ball, meaning if there's a light or a laser, as I get loaded, if I rotate this, we should be able to see that light cross the ball or cut it in half. That's kind of my goal, is we want to get that on plane, and then we rotate our box from there. And our box is basically as we get to launch, these angles of my arms, that's my box. We don't want to break our box ever. A lot of common hitters or a common flaw in a lot of hitters, especially the young ones, is they are trying to pull the bat through by breaking this elbow or pulling it here, just trying to yank the bat through the zone. And you can see what happens if I'm just standing here and I pull my elbow, it drops my barrel. Now I've got what that's doing is now I'm making a long loopy swing, and it drops it, and the only way I can go is up. So you're going to get a lot of swing and misses or pop ups. Yeah, so we don't want to break our box. We want to rotate our box. So as we get that knob on plane here, so now it's on plane, as I isolate that upper half, knob to and through the ball. Okay, so I'm rotating. I'm not breaking anything here. I'm rotating my box, knob and hands through first, and we'll deliver the barrel, and then we'll extend through contact. And with this drill, I want to end at the end of my swing, pointed towards the opposite top corner if you're in the cage, or just the opposite field, kind of up. You know, you always want to finish high, so point it away. We don't want to try to finish all the way around, because you can see, like I said, we want to stack our shoulders. We don't want to get a windy swing. So this is kind of hard to fly that front side open. So it kind of prevents you from doing that. So here, so as we go through, and I'll demonstrate one real quick. But as we go through, so working out of one, knob on plane. As I swing through, we're not trying to swing hard. We're not trying to kill it off the tee. We're just trying to figure out bat path and direction. We're here and point at the end. Okay, we should always have our eyes down. Posture should remain over the plate. When we get to one, boom, right? So let's go. We're here, boom. My chest is over the plate. I've got this spine angle. Now we don't want to break this angle. Imagine once we get to launch position, we're set here. We don't want to do anything but rotate around our spine like there's a pole going through us. You can only rotate around that pole. You can't stand up, go forward, or front to back. Okay, you can only rotate around that. And that helps with staying our chest all the way through to extension. Trying to think if there's anything else so I use it for all those reasons. So the one con that I don't like about it is when we get through, you can see here, it's my front or arm is bent, and that's from rotating. I can't, with the split grip, I can't straighten it out because that just makes it too awkward. But ultimately, so this is the only time, well, I don't ever want you to break your box until we get to contact and we extend through. So even as we swing through, we get here, we extend, that arm's going to straighten out that front side. We don't want the back side opening out until after extend through. You do have those coaches that kind of teach, you know, as we rotate the box and then we roll over kind of at contact, we don't ever get to extension. So it's kind of here. I'd much rather, you know, get to extension and then break. So that's the only con that I don't like, is it doesn't allow that front side to get straight. But, you know, just like all these funky drills or whatever, you always got to break down something, or every drill kind of leads to the ultimate swing. What I'm trying to get at here, you know, it's just like running. You do high knees, you do butt kickers. Well, that's not just to stretch out, but that's for a reason, to help you with your posture, your feet placement as you're sprinting through. It's just the same as a swing, you know, split grip and all these other drills. They're to help you get to the ultimate goal. But hopefully I didn't ramble on too bad and it kind of made sense. If you have any other questions about it, just let me know. Any other questions about any drill that you see me doing, please reach out. Don't hesitate, and we can make a video, or you can come in here and we can kind of collab on it. And yeah, thanks for listening and hanging out. See ya.